Well, good afternoon and welcome to St Mary's College here in Dublin. As the teams make their way out onto the pitch, I'm Graham Dewhurst. I'll be commentating this afternoon alongside Fiona Hayes. Welcome, Fiona.
What a day for rugby, Graham. What a day for rugby.
Fantastic. It couldn't be any better. And you've seen both of these teams in action through the season, and you've got. What do you think this sort of game's going to be today?
Yeah, I think watching Cooke, we know what they bring in the pack, a very strong, powerful pack. They like to keep that ball in tight. They have very good runners in the back line as well with Claire Johnston and Kelly McCormill. But I think where they're really, really strong is in the scrum, and I will think they will try to be dominant at scrum time and earn some penalties to get them up the pitch.
Brilliant. Well, it's not really a day for the scrum. I'm hoping to see some ball handling. It's perfect conditions. If you're watching with the TV, there's Cooke or have the sun to their backs. Very little breeze. What breeze there is coming into the camera as you see it, as Blackrock come out onto the pitch now as well. Blackrock wearing their blue and white stripes and Cooke in white and black. Before this game starts, so we will have a minute's silence for two reasons. The first is to reflect on all those who died during the pandemic and also to reflect on the hard work that the health service have done over the past few years. We'll also have a minute's silence there to remember William Britton, Blackrock player who passed away recently.
To COVID-19 and indeed to those who worked so hard across the front line to protect us over the last number of years. This afternoon we'll also remember the late William Britton, who left us far too soon, March 17th, 2022. William, a Blackrock College RFC member and player, is survived by his heartbroken mum, dad and Katie, his grandparents Dennis and Catherine Duggan, godparents Peter and Marie, uncles, aunts, cousins, his girlfriend Joanna, and his many friends.
So here we go, the Energia All-Ireland Plate Final here at St Mary's College in Dublin between Cooke playing in black and white and Blackrock College playing in blue and white stripes. I'm Graham Dewhurst again, and Irish international Fiona is beside me. So it's perfect day for rugby. It's interesting Cooke chose the kick-off to start us off. They're obviously looking to try and get a bit of territory, get into the faces of Blackrock early on.
Yeah, that's it. You're going to see them up like speed of lightning now here from this kick-off. And, you know, Blackrock have some danger women in that back line. We've Maggie Boylan at 15, who's played with Munster this year, and she's definitely someone to watch. So they'll be trying to keep the ball away from her, I would imagine.
So Katie Byrne, the referee for today's match, gets the game underway, and are Cooke going to get their hands on it early on? They are. Great claim. Super play there from Cooke. Hannah Downey passes the ball out at scrum, half and an early penalty. And that's just really what Cooke would wanted. You have to say, going into this match, probably Blackrock edging it as favourites, so Cooke to get a start like that, I'll be very positive for them.
Yeah, what a great catch after restart, and unfortunately for Blackrock there was a little bit of a high shot in there, so they'll have to keep that tackle height down because they do not want to be getting this Cooke pack mauling at them, and I think that's what they'll go for straight away here.
No, definitely not. Dolores Shiels there putting the ball into touch, and it's going to be an early Cooke line out, so we get the opportunity to see. I think they're going for a short line out right from the off.
Yeah, they back their 5-man line out, and they have a couple of runners outside their 10 as well, so we might see a little plays off the top here instead of that maul that I predicted.
Beth Cragen gets ready to put the ball in. It's a dummy at the front, up at the tail, nice clean jump and off the top, lovely line out, lovely start for Cooke, and what a run there by Daly at 8 for Cooke today. Downey passes it off the 2 second rows. McCord and McKee interplaying nicely there. Downey again, off to hooker Cragen, the Ulster captain. What a presence she'll be this afternoon. Cooke playing through the pods nicely. McCord getting her hands on the ball again. And another penalty, this time for off the feet. Now, are they going to play it quickly? They are going to play it quickly. We've been obviously watching a lot of Six Nations rugby. We've been getting tap and goes all the time. It's brilliant to see. And you can see they're all about scoring tries, aren't they?
Yeah, Cooke are really speeding up this game. They want to hit Blackrock on the hop here, and we see that they're after giving away 2 early penalties, but their attack is really, really good.
Morton, lovely hands off to Ilse van Staden. 5 metres out there. Morton changes direction. Simpson, her first touch of the afternoon. Lovely play. Morton cutting it inside it, just forward. Great opportunity, and actually a nice line by Helen McGee there, wasn't it? Just overran it slightly.
Just slightly overran it. What hands by Cooke, though, to get into that situation. They've really tightened up their phase play. They sucked Blackrock in and they snapped back the other way and wanted to catch him with that killer punch. But I think it just overran it, and the referee was right bang there to spot that.
Yeah, certainly great positioning. You can't argue with that. And first scrum of the afternoon, so Blackrock get their hands on the ball for the first time.
Yeah, I think this is going to be an area Cooke are going to try and dominate, and we'll see from this scrum the referee's going to have to watch very closely.
Here we go, ball in. And that's a big shove from Blackrock. Good pick off the bait. And already there's an overlap. But away she goes. Super running from Bobbett. Away she goes out to the outside. Brilliant run, and what a tackle into touch. Wow, that's an exit strategy if ever I saw one.
Yes, Ali Coleman off the base of that scrum, really good. She spotted the gap. There was a massive gap between the 10 and the 12, and she absolutely took it. But you have to compliment the Cooke defence to get her out over that touchline also as well.
I was giving kudos to Bobbett. There's been a few changes in the back there, so we're going Coleman's at shoring up the rear of that scrum. Brilliant. So here we go. Another line out for Cooke. Very solid first line out from them. This time straight in, lovely hands at the tail and off the top. Oh, lovely bit of feet there from the big number 8, India Daly. Superb play. Downey gives it out. Cooke looking assured, ball in hand early on. Good defence from Blackrock though, slowing it down. They've got a great blue wall in front of the Cooke players.
Daly has been very dominant in her carries. Oh,
and a lovely little chip. Where's this going to end up? Well read, and a good clearance, but it's not a good enough clearance, and it's ended up in the hands of Cooke, and it's offside there. And Cooke have tapped and gone, and the hooker's going to go all the way. Can she get across the line? Just short. How on earth did the Blackrock defence bring her down? Fantastic run from Cregan. And are they over? They are over! And that's a brilliant score from Cooke. Just what they needed at the start of this game.
Absolutely, really good. 100% tempo from Cooke. We saw Beth Cregan taking that quick tap, and it was an excellent score to spot. She spotted the pillar, had just drifted, and Hetherington popped over that line to score a try. Really impressed by the pace that Cooke are putting on the ball at the minute. Yeah. It's exciting rugby, and I think Blackrock are a little shell-shocked at it.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think certainly the nice thing from a Cooke perspective is they've had the opportunity to keep a very composed side. Hetherington's actually the only person who's come into this 15 after the semi-final, and you can tell why she's come in, because she was right up with play there. Very smart thinking to just pick and go from the base of that ruck.
Very clever. She spotted, as I said, the pillar had left, and when you see that, it was like a little snipe. Normally we see a 9 do that, but it's very clever play by Hetherington.
And just short there from Morton. So the scoreline here at St Mary's in this Energia All-Ireland plate final at the minute is Cooke 5, Blackrock College 0.
Yeah, I can hear some of the coaching staff from Blackrock shouting on a bit of encouragement there. So Val Power will hopefully get this kick up the pitch, and we'll see a really big chase by that Blackrock pack.
And there's no doubt when Blackrock do get their opportunity, they will be very dangerous. But off to a flyer, Cooke anyway. Good deep kick from Blackrock. Ball in hand again for Cooke. Good defence there from Blackrock. Downey sends it away again. She's been getting ball on a plate there at 9 from her pack. Morton. Oh, it's an intercept! Brilliant from Shiels. Came out of nowhere to get that, and all of a sudden Blackrock on the attack. Have they got space out left? If they can move it a bit slow, it's coming right instead. And if they can shift it, this could be a little show and go from Tester. Still opportunity right. Ball goes left instead. Mullen gets the ball out nicely. There is space on the overlap. Here we go. Can Blackrock get in the far side? Lovely offloads, beautiful hands, but just slightly forward.
Oh, what clever play by Jackie Shiels. I've played with her. Came out of nowhere. I've played with her. She always had an eagle eye for those intercepts. It's something she always goes for, and I could see her eyeing that up, and she went for it, but really, really good. Just unfortunately a little pop on the wing, and that knock on gets Cooke the ball, and they'll be happy with that defensive set, I think.
Well, it sort of gives you a flavour of what we're going to be in for this afternoon, doesn't it? Because it's an epic match. There's lots of handling, very few handling errors so far. There'll be a couple of forward passes, but that's understandable, with the players overrunning it in a bit of anticipation, isn't it?
Yeah, but you have to compliment the skill set of the girls. It's really good, and that's what the sunshine does. It puts a smile in your face, and it makes those hands like glue at times.
Yeah, so just down there for an injury just to the face, it looks like, but hopefully we'll be okay. They're very far away. I'm struggling to see the numbers on the back of those Blackrock shirts.
Yeah, I think it's an injury to the Cooke player. To me, looks like maybe a contact lens has popped out.
Yeah, it looks like McCord.
Yeah,
who's the captain for today's match. Got a try in the semi-final in that Ulster squad as well, so a highly experienced player, so hopefully that's all it is. Yeah,
she's a really good player. In that Ballincollig game that they played in the semi-final, she was a star in that. Really, really strong ball carrier. She just offers so much as a 12. She's silky skills as well, but also runs really, really good lines and has impressed me in the last few seasons with Ulster as well.
It's interesting how certain players just stand out. I mean, for me, Beth Cragen so far at hooker is just is on it, isn't she? She's just got a wee extra edge.
It's the throws as well. She's hitting the back of the line out, which gives
fingertips at the back, isn't it?
Fingertips at the back, but that gives the back line a really good platform, because you have held in those flankers that are trying to gun down that 10, and she gives her 10 a little bit more space by hitting the back, and she's been on the money so far. Let's hope it's not a commentator's curse now for the next one.
No, not at all. I don't doubt it for a minute. No, Daniel Allen, the coach of Cooke, will be very pleased with how his team have started. But it's a scrum over on that far side. Cooke defending their own line, but an opportunity to get the ball put in. Blackrock College had a very strong scrum. The first out, this is just the second scrum of the afternoon, picked off the base, and away goes India Daly, setting it up nicely. Very fast up the Blackrock College defence there, but well played there. And is that turned over?
No.
Just offside. That's why they were so fast up there.
You spotted that, yeah. Look, it was a really good exit. They were trying to get out to the right-hand side so that they could kick the ball up the pitch. And unfortunately for Blackrock, their errors are giving Cooke a chance to get back up the pitch there.
Yeah. It's clear, but look, it's hard. You can understand it's a final. At the end of the day, you can sense the kind of the enthusiasm to kind of just get into people, isn't it?
Yeah, as a coach, I think you'll allow one or two of those at the start. It shows the intent, I suppose, get in their face, and that's what this Blackrock team are trying to do. They just have to maybe clamp down a little bit on that around, especially with the referee standing there as well. I think the referee's right beside the Jackie. I think that was offside.
So here we go, Cragen to put the ball in to the line out. Cooke very quick, just walking in. This time it is an overthrow, well caught there by Blackrock, and bounces off one into the 22, and Blackrock on the attack. Oh, and it's was I about to say not straight really from that line out, wasn't it? No advantage played, so we're going to go back to the scrum for Blackrock. Blackrock's first put into the scrum, so this will be interesting to see the sort of platform they can give their back line.
Yeah, and they did. They had a scrum down inside their own, and they were fairly dominant in that. Yeah. But they're actually opting for the line out on a decision here. So
yep. Well, this is our first opportunity to see their line out. Neve Tester, the hooker, gets to put the ball in. Full line out, it looks like, for Blackrock, with Cooke opting for that 5-man. Straight in, good hands, lovely offload, and away we go. Blackrock's back line, look at the speed here. They've got numbers straight on the overlap already. Puts the head down, does the run. Lovely little offload and well gathered by O'Callaghan. Super play from Blackrock. Great running there from Emer Corey, the second row for Blackrock. And now Blackrock, quick tap and go. This is the way this game's going to go. Inside, outside, great play. Held up just short of the line. It's a try Fantastic score.
What a great try scored by Judy Bobbett. She just showed her power when she gets going. It's very hard to take her down. Really, really good running. But I think exactly what you said, Graham, that speed, they're speeding up that game, and Cooke can't seem to live with that.
You see, everyone wants to quick tap here. It's like go, 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 go. Can they sustain it for the full length of the match?
I think they've been watching the old Super Rugby. They're trying to keep that speed level. But it's good to see. And we spoke about the beautiful day up here. So that's exactly, you want that kind of free run in rugby. Right? And both teams are giving us a great show here today.
And Judy Bobbett was brought in, was expecting to be on the bench today, but then was pulled up onto the starting side. And what a difference has that made already?
Excellent ball carrier, and Jackie's after putting the 2 over. Jackie Shiels, although plays at 12, has a really, really good kick and boot in her. She's played a lot of time, and a lot of her career she's done a 10 over, especially over in Richmond, over in England. Really, really good, instinctive player. So their Blackrock team are lucky to have her. You can see her getting back, talking to them all, sorting them out. She's someone who has a great knowledge for the game, and she absolutely loves it.
It was one of the things I was down watching the warm-ups, and it was so vocal. The whole Blackrock side were just talk. Great to see. So if you're just joining us, you're at this St Mary's College in Dublin, this Energia All-Ireland plate final. At the minute, Blackrock College lead Cooke by 7 points to 5. That's a great catch there from Holohan, who is vice-captain today. Lovely carry. Blackrock starting to get into the swing. A very strong start for Cooke, and Blackrock now starting to find their feet. Little knock on at the back. No, it just must have gone backwards. Referee Katie Byrne was in a good position to see that.
Yeah, we can see this Blackrock team like to go in behind their forwards and get the ball out wide. It's a really great style of rugby they play. They're zigzagging back again, and that beautiful kick again, as I spoke, by Jackie. Lovely boot. Take pressure off.
That's a great kick. Was maybe even looking for that 50-20, and Cooke wanting to run it from their own. Great defence there, and well away by Cooke. How they escaped there was that was a miracle ball. It was brilliant. And Blackrock away again. Very open style of rugby. Super tackle in the middle by McCormill. Kelly McCormill was up so fast in defence. That was a lovely tackle, because if she hadn't made that tackle, Blackrock were away. Yeah,
it was a really good hit, and Blackrock tried to get that offload away, and unfortunately Corey had a knock on. But we can see what they're trying to do. They're trying to speed up that game. They want to play rugby. They want the ball wide, and that's where they're lethal. I'd love to see Maggie Boylan in full back get on the ball. She's a player I've seen in the last couple of years with Munster, especially last season with Munster. She's really, really exciting. So I'd say they're trying to think how they can get her involved in this game a little bit more as well.
And it's hard now as well with the 50-20 rule, because fullbacks are almost having to stay deeper. And they can't maybe get as involved as much, or they'll leave it a bit weak in defence. But
yeah, it's interesting looking at their fence. They've only one. They're flat up defending this, and only one in the backfield. A lot of teams will probably have a winger drop, but Blackrock obviously want to bring that line speed.
India Daly for Cooke, so strong from the number 8. Great hands there on the halfway line. Cooke in possession. Downey to Morton. Morton just little show and go, and just maybe a wee bit of a head knock there. Stops play. India Daly, I think, for Cooke so far at 8, very strong runner. She's picked off the base maybe, I think, 2 or 3 times from the back of a scrum.
She's so good. You know, I'm just watching her. She's getting a lot of momentum once she gets off that base. She's very hard to take down, but she's lightning quick as well. She's almost like Doris at the back. She seems to find the space, and her footwork gets her there. She's down at the minute. It'd be an absolute shame for the Cooke attack if he lost India Daly. So hopefully that's all right.
It was interesting. I think she played on the flank in the semi-final, so they've obviously moved her to 8. But real skill there. It's a real talent picking the ball up from 8 and being able to go wide enough to find the space to make yardage, isn't it?
That's it. It's you know, you could look up when you're at the back of that scrum, and the minute you pick it up, the defence could have shifted immediately. So it's an art almost that they're able to find that space. And today she's been excellent in that area. She's just carrying really, really well. And someone, you know, as you said, she played flank in the semi-final, and I was coaching Ballincollig at that time, and she was.
I didn't like to bring that up.
You did. I can hear you bringing it up. You love it. But look, she's a player. She's young, and she's definitely someone to watch for the future. And I think her show so far today, if she can keep up those levels, is really, really good.
Yep.
I think as well, you're looking at like hybrids in the back row. I think the way the game is going now, you need, players can play 6, 7 and 8. It's not as specialised as you used to be, and you especially see that with the Ireland men's team when they're shifting between Doris and Conan, and it's a great skill to have as a back rower to be able to play in all three.
You say that, I mean, we've got Aoife Moore, the prop for Blackrock College today. He can play second row and back row, so like, the multi-talented rugby player.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't put her in a 10 today. You'd see her name appearing anywhere.
There's still time.
Yeah, she's brilliant. She's really adjusted. She played with Munster this season, and she's really adjusted to that front row, and I think her scrummaging is improving with every game.
And you maybe just saw that, but India Daly had to come off there. Now it's rolling subs, so it's still potential that she'll come back on again. Just take a bit of a breather. So nice opportunity for a Cooke scrum. It's always nice for a back line. It's centre pitch, just slightly offset to the right hand side. You can see Amanda Morton there almost getting into the sprinter position.
I was just going to say she's raring to go. That ball is definitely not going to 8. She has her hands up looking for it, I think. Oh,
and it's a great pick. You can see there that Helen McGee's moved into that 8 position, and what you've lost with India Daly is straight on with Helen McGee. Good pick there. I think that's Saoirse McLaughlin has come on there. Great pick up from her. And away go Cooke again. Oh, huge tackle in the midfield, Shiels. Everywhere today, Shiels so far. Downey. Blackrock College getting up very fast. Lovely hands from Cooke, and Dolores Hughes gets her hand, skips through a couple of tackles, and that's a little bit high on her.
Yeah, it's just slid up. It's that seatbelt tackle, as they call. But we can see Cooke are trying to stretch this Blackrock defence. They're moving the ball around. It's really exciting rugby, and they're really holding on to them passes and going through those phases as well.
I think Dolores Hughes, she was almost the architect of her own downfall, because they're that quick feet. I mean, it's a nightmare to tackle somebody like that.
I can't say I've ever had quick feet myself now, but I can tell you it's a nightmare to tackle someone like them. But yeah, their footwork is really, really good around that contact area, and I think that's a big thing that I focus on as well as a coach, is footwork in that area, because it makes the clean out a lot easier for the players arriving.
Yeah. And as well, with Cooke spreading it wide, it's probably a reasonably good tactic, because Jackie Shiels in the centre of that Blackrock defence is proving quite a weapon.
Yeah, Jackie is playing excellently, and I was talking to her recently, and I think she says this every season, but I think this could be her last game in a Blackrock shirt as well, so she wants to go out on top.
Here we go. So Cooke get their opportunity to go to attack again. Are they going to stick with this 5-man line-out that served them well so far? Looks like it.
Yeah, it seems to be working for them. They're finding the space. Blackrock aren't moving to the back. They're just sending up 2 pods. You can see that lifter in the middle, waiting to see where she thinks it's going. So it's working for them, and the ball out to the forwards who are waiting there are making big carries off the lineouts as well. So it's really good to see.
Yeah. Cregan, and well robbed at the front there. Super play there from Corrie, and Blackrock get the ball. Real fight, and Cooke have got that back. Wow, there's passion there to get their hands on the ball. Downey gives it out to McLaughlin.
That was Beth Cregan in there. She spotted the ball. It slipped out the back of the ruck in there like a bullet to recover the ball, and Cooke now have it.
Bit high but gathered again. McCord, can she go all the way? Pass inside to second row teammate. Can Helen McGee get over? Oh, and just knocked forward.
Oh,
tell you what, some second row interplay. I love to see that.
Absolutely great support lines she ran. Unfortunately, she was reaching for the line. I know it myself. You're in that 50-50.
I know.
But look, it shows that Cooke's intent. They want to
Yeah.
keep that ball moving. They want to keep putting pressure on this Blackrock team, and it's making for a good game so far. Anyway.
Yeah, and we've got rolling subs, of course, in these All Ireland fixtures at the minute. So I think we get a number 8 back in again. Bobbett, I think she's just going straight in at 8.
No, there's Bobbett's off and Scally,
Bobbett's
yes.
off
So
and Scally
Scally's straight in at
Scally
8.
straight
So
in at 8.
yeah. Judy was in the second row. Judy Bobbett was in the second row, probably her more comfortable position, but I'm sure we'll see her again after that try as well.
And that's a huge scrum from Cooke, but well away from Blackrock. And Blackrock, lovely little left boot up the field. That's a hard one to gather, but Hughes has done well. And the scampering feet goes past one, well tackled again by Blackrock College. And Cooke have to build again. Little show and go there by Helen McGee. Number 8 in the last match, and certainly a good value for it. Big run by Van Staden. Puts a bit of yards in, can't be brought down. There's space out right if they can shift it. Eventually the ball goes not quite to hand, but there's still space there. Lucy Thompson offloads it to Hughes. Hughes steps inside. Great handoffs, very strong. Lovely offload, what a take there from McCormill. Just brought down 5 metres short. Hands again there. Thompson goes to the line. Are they across? Katie Byrne right on the money. Inches away now. Pounding away at the Blackrock line. Blackrock have to be strong. Johnson. Pick at the tail from Downey. Straight into Blackrock. Lovely little offload. McGee and brought into touch. What you have to say, what a set of defence from Blackrock.
Yeah,
here we go. There's a tap. Quick tap will not stop now. There was no way we were stopping. And we're over the line. Very, very close again. Byrne right, the referee right on the money. Are we going to pick and go? There's space out left if they can move it. McClavin tries to go over. Well stopped. And eventually McCord in under the posts. And that is just relentless pressure, isn't it? Pressure, pressure, pressure.
Absolutely. I thought Blackrock had got him over the line in defence, and I thought it was going to be a line out to Blackrock, but there'd been infringement of offside earlier. So we saw Bet Cregan straight away. We know what they want to do. Quick tap, and that straightened up line was really, really well ran, and a few picks and goes, and we see McCord over the line. These second rows are really lighting it up today.
And they're interplaying very well. 4 and 5,
Yeah.
you know, McGee and McCord. I mean, they're on a same wavelength today, aren't they?
They're absolutely, and it's good to see them in ball in hand. They're finding that space. They're running hard, and they're getting those yards. But I have to compliment Van Staden's run up the middle. I think it was 10 metres.
Yeah, and that was really what set the platform, wasn't it, for the whole try? Just couldn't bring her down. The big handoffs and the. Just kept pumping the legs as well.
Big handoff, and no one wants to be on the end of that. She's extremely big ball carrier and really, really good, and you have to stop her at source, I think, when she gets going. So excellent running from Cooke here today.
And a crucial conversion to follow from Morton.
Yeah, her boot as well is really good. We saw her exit a couple of times and getting Cooke out of their own 22. So she's a big game player, and I think she's really good at the minute with her boot, and right boot at that as well. You know, so it reveals pressure on that right hand side.
So the scoreline here in this Energia All Ireland Plate final is Cooke 12, Blackrock College 7. It's a beautiful day here in St Mary's College in Dublin as Blackrock get the game underway again. Lovely little offload, and what a break! Cooke away again through Thompson. Thompson offloads to Downey. McGee takes it into contact. Downey very well there, very, very fast. The Cooke player streaming forward. And the ball's offloaded. Great defence there from Blackrock. And now can Blackrock go on a bit of an attack? Kicked straight down the middle, forcing Cooke to run back. Superb break from Thompson, though. This game is fantastic if you're enjoying it. I hope you're enjoying it at home as Dolores Hughes gets to stick the ball out. And is it going to go into touch? It is. And we can all take a breath.
What a beautiful spiral click by Jackie Shiels down the middle. Right down the middle. We saw a retreating Cooke defence and Dolores Hughes was first to get back there and relieve that pressure. But I would imagine that this Blackrock want to get a quick one, to speed it up now and try and get that ball out to their back line.
And when you've got someone who can kick it as far as that, it's just you want to keep that pressure on. That builds territory and then forces mistakes, and you play in the right area of the pitch that way, don't you?
Yeah, you could see Jackie. She was screaming for it to come left, and the minute she got the ball, her mind was already made up. She wanted to get down the pitch and put pressure on that Cooke.
So Blackrock jump in the front. Missed timing, but just about not straight in the end, I think. Just a little bit of miscommunication in the middle. Interesting, Blackrock sticking with this full line out, and Cooke will be sticking with a 5. Yeah,
they seem to be going with a 2-3-2 in their setup and hitting that middle pod a lot. Interesting as well, that you say it means that they want to give their back line that chance to attack. If the 9 is in there, she'll swing it out so to Val Power, who obviously will get that back line up and running. But unfortunately, that went a bit off target. There is a bit of a wind, I think, coming up and down as well. I can feel it. Yep. So sometimes when you release that ball as a hooker, it might just take off.
Yeah. I was down on the pitch before the game. The wind seemed to be coming into the camera as you're looking at it on the TV screen. So just to give you an idea, it's a gusty rather than a constant breeze, and that's a really sound scrum from Cooke. It's been a good battle so far in the scrum, hasn't it?
Really, really good battle. I think Mahon was maybe caught turned in there and her hips weren't square, and the referee spotted that straight away and I gave Cooke the penalty. Interesting that there was no advantage played, so I think she spotted that, so it must have been a serious infringement to keep going.
Katie Byrne, the referee today, she's been right on it, hasn't she? She's been right up with play. Every time you look where the ball is, generally she's not too far away.
No, she's really doing really well. She's letting the game flow as well. We can see there's quick rocks and she's involved, she's there, she's talking to the players. I think that's a big thing, communication, and she's letting everyone know back, stay on side. So it's great as a player to get that chat.
So Cooke to put the ball in once we get the ball back. Yeah,
Bet had to go running 15 metres up to get that. As a hooker, you don't like that anyway.
Definitely not.
But yeah, her last couple of throws were on the money as well, so I'd be hoping same here. We can see what they're trying to do with the forwards outside of 10 as well. They're trying to get that ball wider. It's really good rugby.
Great catch at the tail there by Hetherington. Oh, and away goes Van Staden again, this time brought down with a great tackle low. But Cooke, both the second rows for Cooke running so strong. McCord off on another run.
Yeah, really good run by McCord, and a nice clean out at the breakdown to get that quick ball on a plate. And you can see what Downey's trying to do. She wants to play good, fast, solid rugby.
Lucy Thompson, I have to say as well, has got herself involved maybe more in the last five minutes or so, starting to come in, starting to offer herself as a runner in outside centre.
Yeah, they're finding space, especially on this right-hand side here. It seems to where they're attacking, they're coming over, and we can see that, especially with Thompson, she likes to run at that player. She's a really good ball carrier with ball in hand, and we saw her getting involved. It's good that this rugby is going on, and it's not just stuck in the pack. We can see that Cooke like to interplay between their backs and forwards, and it makes for a good game. I think is that Ellen?
I don't know if that was a substitution or whether it was just a substituted head guard. might have come on. I'm not too sure.
That's needed too. Scrum time again. I think Cooke were dominant in the last one, so the referee has come over to this side now, and I think she will be watching closely on Mahon, who'll have to stay nice and square. The amount of trickery that goes on in those scrums.
Oh, yes. You love that, though.
Oh, I absolutely love it.
That was followed by a giggle.
Great chats you had in the front row. You're
definitely
trying to put off your opponent. All part and parcel of it. It's a good height.
Yeah, it's a good, better scrum there from Blackrock. The ball moving forward and out it goes. Part. Right, out to the far right wing. Oh, nearly through the hands, but they've gathered. Lawless out there.
Yeah.
Oh, a little half-break and away she goes.
Maggie.
Almost one-on-one. Lovely little off the right, off the left, outside. Can't she go all the way? Great cover tackle by Boyce. She came in all the way across there. But Blackrock still on the front foot. Will they spread it wide? It's calling for it. Beautiful hands from Blackrock. Straight into a solid defence. And is that a little high? Yes, it's a little high. And that's a shame because almost if Blackrock had been allowed to go there.
Oh, try to go.
Oh, it's one of the Blackrock players is down because if it hadn't been for that stoppage there, you kind of think that ball could have gone.
I know, but what a run by Maggie Boylan. I talked about her earlier as that danger woman. She was like a whippet there, just gone really fast. I would imagine Blackrock are trying to speed up this game and we'll go for a quick tap here. You can see they're almost setting up 2 pods on each side. So here we go.
Here we go. Crash into the Cooke defence. Lovely quick ball. Out we go again, pounding the Cooke line. They've got to be strong. The referee held up just over, so it's going to be a goal line dropout.
Yeah.
They're trying to go quickly down the left. Both sides want to do everything fast.
Absolutely. I wasn't sure if I was going to see Bet. She's done everything today, but I thought Bet Krieger was going to kick the ball and do a swift one there, but she was exception there to hold that ball over what looked like a guaranteed try.
It was, yeah, you really thought. It was a powerful run as well, wasn't it? Ball still there for Blackrock. If they can get it back, they can. O'Callaghan, lovely little step, breaks through a few tackles. Sets it up nicely, Mullen. Nice hands from Moore in the midfield. Stretching Cooke. And here she goes again on the outside. Lovely little handoff. Good tackle. 10 metres short now of the Cooke line. Oh, and just holding on the ground. Good defence from Cooke. But as you say, Blackrock really starting to stretch Cooke now as well, aren't they? Yeah,
you can see what they're trying to do. They're going from side to side. What a great defensive set by Cooke there to get in and lock in on that ball and the turnover. You know, that's the thing when you go that wide. Sometimes you mightn't have the support in those wide channels to get there and make that clean out. Yeah. And we saw Cooke were out there and straight away on the ball, so it's an excellent spot.
That back three of Lawless, O'Callaghan and Boylan are starting to really flow now. One thing to see is how good the feet are. There's little footsteps inside, outside, and it's hard to defend. Yeah, that was beautiful by O'Callaghan. It was just a little step in, a step out, and I think she burned maybe 3 defenders in that. And we saw obviously then Blackrock wanted to go wide off that. Maybe a phase carry up the middle might have been a bit more productive, and then they could have swung it wide. But we can see their style. Yeah. They want to move this Cooke pack around, and I'm not going to say they're starting to tire, but it's with the sun shining, it will take its toll as the game goes on. As you were saying, they always say you've got to earn the right to go wide, don't you? You've got to take those big carries up in the midfield to kind of suck in a few people. Yeah, Jackie Shiels had a couple of skip passes out wide. Really, she saw the space, and it is good to release your winger, but sometimes when you do that, as I said, you risk that turnover if it's a correct tackle and hit. Cooke now, a bit set, and it goes right over the tail. And Blackrock have read that very well as well. Big step, big handoff, too short. Is she going to go all the way? That's inches short of the line. Superb run. Big defence from Cooke as well, and Cooke have turned that over. That's outstanding defence from Cooke, but great play from Blackrock as well. And it's nothing's going to come of that, and we're going to go back for the scrum for the knock-on. A couple of times when Cooke have overthrown, the reaction speed from Blackrock's very good, isn't it, in the recovery? Brilliant to spot. She was gone straight away, I think about a 10-15 metre run, and really unlucky not to get in the corner. Unfortunately, there was Lisa Mullen had a knock on at the base, and the referee, as you said, who's at every breakdown in every area. She was there to spot it. But we can see this Blackrock team are gradually building up. They're getting up the pace of the game now. I think what's been most impressive for both sides. There's been a mixture of real power, but also speed, pace. There's a nice mix. Both sides have a good balance of play, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. And when they're running really hard lines, and I think that's what's holding defence in, and that's what's making that space outside.
Good pick up at the tail there, just buys Cooke a few extra yards, setting it up through the forwards. Downey just getting herself into position.
I think she's dropping into the pocket. They want to get out of their 22 here.
Yeah. And that's a decent clearance from Morton. Still, the pressure will be on.
Pressure's on, but really good strategy. Couple of phases, get the ball up the pitch. You can see they're into their huddle now, and it gives a couple of the girls a chance to take a breather.
Yeah, that's interesting as well. Actually, all the play seems to have been over the far side of the pitch from where we're looking, even though the wind is coming this way. So, not too sure what that tells us, but just an interesting stat.
There you go. I think that's where I think Blackrock are seeing the space anyway, and as we said, they're going wide off those first phases, so they're trying to get that ball out to their winger's hand.
Lovely line out from Blackrock, right off the top, out to par to Shiels. Oh, a little bit of miscommunication in the minute. I think there was a wraparound coming here. It was looking good, but just a missed time. Yeah. But nice to see. You could tell the direction of play there, couldn't you? It was.
It was unfortunate. You could see that that pump past Shiels was trying to get the ball out in behind, but unfortunately Lebogue ran the wrong line. But the space is there, and if they keep coming at the Cooke pack and at that Cooke back line, I think they might get in for a try before half time.
Well, you mentioned Boylan. She was steaming there. Over to the right hand side to create that overlap.
Yeah, she reads the game really well. You can see her there in the back line. She's looking, constantly seeing where the space is, and wants to get involved. She wants to come into that line. It's really good for a 15 to have that hunger in them as well. Yeah.
Another big pick at the base, India Daly. She's done that all day, and it's great to see her back after she had a wee knock early on. And it looks like there's an advantage being played by the referee. It's a penalty advantage, and no doubt they're going to tap and go quick. I don't even need to ask anymore, do I? Lovely little interplay. Cooke need to get there quickly to support. Downey's got ball very, very fast from her pack all afternoon. Another big run by Daly. And this time a turnover. Who was that? That's fantastic. And a tap and go again. And away we go. Oh, this time was it just not on the spot?
Yeah, that was a great spot by Jackie Shiels. She spotted that the runner was isolated straight in and latched off that ball, and the referee was on point to award a penalty. And I think this is a strategy by both teams today, that they want to get the ball moving and keep running it.
And we're not complaining. We're in a fantastic game of rugby.
Brilliant rugby to watch.
And it's great as well because it's very much it's played like a final. It feels like a final, and it's in case you're just joining us, it's Cooke 12, Blackrock College 7, nearing the end of this first half here at St Mary's College in this Energia All-Ireland Plate final. Two teams you have a bit of familiarity, and it's brilliant. I mean, it just shows you early in the season Blackrock put 66 points past Cooke. It's a very different match today, and it's just got a brilliant atmosphere about it, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think Cooke really came out from their warm-up. They were fired up, and Blackrock are coming more into the game now. We can see some great runs.
Blackrock working hard in that red zone all the way across the pitch, still going. They went backwards, still play on for Blackrock. There's still possible space out the right if they can move it. Good hands, Shiels shouting for everything. A little chip and go. Who's going to gather it? Well, there from Boyce, or else Blackrock were away there. Downey sets it up with her pack. Good run from Hetherington. It's very vocal out there. You can hear both sides screaming and shouting. Van Staden takes that up, sets up a little bit of a maul and starts to rumble. She's still going, can't bring her down. And finally they go low, bring her down. A great run from her, not for the first time. Morton sends it out. Double teamed in the midfield, very strong Blackrock defence. Downey puts it up, who's going to gather it? The ball's bouncing, could end up anywhere. Eventually Cooke Downey gathers her own kick. Slight knock-on advantage. Referee's playing.
Yeah, I think both teams are seeing space in that back chip, and they're trying to chip the ball into that back field, and there is a lot of space in there, so it's really, really good.
It's a good tactic to keep your eye on. Lovely hands there from Van Staden. Not just a bulldozer, can do the lovely deft touches as well. And again, excellent defence from Blackrock College.
Really, really good defence. Straight in again on that ball to get the turnover. It's
great to watch, isn't it?
Yes,
it keeps you riveted.
It's good. It's good. That's the area game as well. I really love watching that defensive set and seeing the pressure. And when Blackrock bring their line speed, when they get up there and in the faces of Cooke, I think that's when errors are being made. And we saw there the Cooke runner, unfortunately, was kind of left on her own, and that creates the chance for that turnover at the breakdown. They're
double teaming a wee bit as well in defence, aren't they, Blackrock? They're not just one-on-oneing.
They've put in a couple of really big double hits, and it's kind of like, I know you can see the player calling, they see the ball. If the ball is up high, you get that massive double hit by both Blackrock. So I know Ben Martin, the coach, is very, very good in that defensive area, and he loves that side of the game. So I can see exactly what they're trying to do, and he notices when you have a one-off ball runner, he's big on that double hit.
I think both coaches will be very pleased with the way their teams have performed so far today, won't they?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, the handlers have been very limited, and they've all tried to find that space, and it's made for good rugby today.
So Jackie Shiels, she's given that some belt. Oh, and it's over! What a kick! Brilliant! I thought the touch judge, they were just gonna, they waited, delayed. And that is half time, and what a finish to the half to get the scoreline even tighter here in St Mary's College. Well, it's 12-10 to Cooke, and in this Energia play final, and I've been Graham Dewhurst and Fiona beside me. Last thoughts on the match before we hand over to Ross?
Yeah, it's been an exciting first half of rugby, and we saw Jackie Shiels taking the 3 points there. Very good decision, a good bit out of the 22, but they absolutely went for it, and I think we're in for a great second half. Only 2 points in the difference. Cooke are on top now, so let's see if they can come back out firing like they did in the first half.
Thanks to Graham, thanks to Fiona for calling what's a really exciting first half of rugby, and they'll be bringing you all of the second half live. Ross O'Donoghue is my name, and just half-time brings us an opportunity to talk about the wider game and Irish rugby, and it allows me to bring in IRFU Women's Development Manager Amanda Greensmith. Amanda, thanks for arranging such beautiful weather for us today. It's very much appreciated. Surely you've enjoyed the quality of rugby on the pitch as well as the weather?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, we put the request in for the weather a long time ago, so it's good to see it come through. I think it definitely adds to today. Like today, a nice dry day, a little bit of a breeze there, I guess, to keep the kickers, in check and keep them a little bit honest. But I think overall, it's been a very exciting first half, and I think there's plenty more to come in the second half.
Agreed, and obviously the 3 o'clock cup game between Railway Union and UL Bohemian to come, and in one sense that brings down the curtain on, certainly at Energia All-Ireland League level, club rugby for the women's game for the season. That's not to say the season is over by any stretch of the imagination as we move towards the TikTok Women's Six Nations Championships just coming up next week, and then some really great IRFU programs coming down the track that I want to hear from you about as well.
Yeah, no, 100%. I mean, I think obviously we see, the women's AIL as the top end of the women's game in this country, and yes, it's been really, really good this season. We are coming to a close on that, but as you said, there's plenty of other really good stuff still ongoing. We'll be busy right through the summer. We'll give it a try. We've 93 clubs this year, which is, really, really exciting. We've a kind of wide array from across the country. Clubs who are looking to get girls rugby up and going for the first time in the club, those that are maybe just looking to reinforce their numbers a little bit, and those that are, really looking to maybe put in little extra pockets of opportunities for girls to play and come in and be part of a club. Maybe somebody who doesn't have a direct affiliation already with a particular club because they don't have an older sibling or whatever playing in the club, and it's just an opportunity to come in, try rugby, give it a try for want of the better term, and I think really gives an opportunity for clubs to become a hub in their community, and reach out to maybe, as I said, those who may not already have an affiliation with the club.
Yeah, brilliant. Like in terms of Canterbury Give It a Try, particularly in relation to our listeners right now, where, you know, we obviously have a lot of rugby fans tuned in, but we probably have friends and family that mightn't be as tuned in to, you know, what the IRFU rugby pathway looks like, and may not necessarily just how many opportunities there are for girls to get involved in the game. For those kind of people who might be listening, can you just maybe just give us a brief overview of what that experience for the player is like, and obviously a couple of details and when it's coming up as well?
Yeah, so, you know, look, as I said, you've your traditional club structure and across the 4 provinces in terms of leagues and cups that take place for age grade and adults, but outside of that, as you said, we have these opportunities through Canterbury Give It a Try to bring more girls into the club. That'll start the week of the 2nd of May and run for 8 weeks into the summer. On top of that as well, we're currently coming into the finals day for Rugby Sevens, which is primarily our schools programme. So we'll be having a finals day on the 6th of April. At the minute there's qualification going on in each of the 4 provinces with the schools that are taking part. So we've that to look forward to as well. So again, it's just that opportunity. There's opportunity for young girls to play in their club, for young girls to play in their schools. And what we're starting to see more of now is girls who are not only playing with the clubs, but they're also driving opportunities in their schools to play as well. And we're often finding it's the girls themselves that are going to teachers and saying, you know, this is a really great programme to get involved in, and how can we get involved? And we are seeing the numbers grow in the schools as well, through Rugby Sevens, so it's great.
Lots to look forward to. Amanda Greensmith, RFU Women's Development Manager, thanks for taking the time. I know it's a busy day for you.
No problem.
Really appreciate you coming and just letting us know just how much more nothing like it moments there are coming down the track. And obviously for Canterbury Give It a Try, our Rugby Sevens, IrishRugby.ie, probably the best place to go for information.
Absolutely, 100%.
Well, welcome back to St Mary's College here in Dublin for this Energia All-Ireland Plate Final. I'm Graham Dewhurst, and you're listening into, hopefully you've been enjoying a real cracker here. Cooke 12, Blackrock College 10 at half-time, and beside me Fiona Hayes. Have you enjoyed this first half?
Some great rugby was played. I think I've jinxed it there, but really, really, really exciting rugby. It's the perfect day for it, as we spoke already. And you know what was interesting was both coaches were in the huddle at halftime, really composed, really calm, and you could see the players were getting those vibes. And it's a relaxed atmosphere, and that's what's making for this really, really good rugby.
Yeah, it's an absolutely super match. If you've only just joined us, you missed a cracker first half. Hetherington got Cooke off to a flyer, and then Bobbett got a score for Blackrock College. Shiels nudged over the conversion, and then McCord with a cracking second Rose try gave Cooke the lead, which they've held on to half time, bar a little Shiels penalty just on the whistle. So 12-10 here, and it's as close as the match suggests, as the scoreline suggests. If you had been one of those coaches, what would you think you'd have said? Would you have said anything to Blackrock to change, or would you just have said keep going and believe in the system?
Yeah, the system they're playing is nice. I would probably get shorter targets in the running just to hold the defence in. As a coach, I like to, we spoke earlier about the right to go wide, but I like them to earn that by holding in, having really hard runners, because it's very easy for that Cooke defence to fold open, and they're getting that cover tackle in the end. So I think we will see a bit more of those hard lines running in the centre. And from a Cooke perspective, I'd be telling them keep doing what they're doing. Their set piece is on top at times, and they're really, really excellent in defence.
Power. Lovely little show. Lovely round the back pass. That's real skill level. Running hard is O'Callaghan. Blackrock on the attack in the second half. Power. Nice hands out to Shiels, who's really come to the fore, just standing out above a lot of the other players in the pitch with her skill levels. Blackrock, what a handoff there. Superb, taking them up to the 22. Mullen, who's played very well, I haven't mentioned her too much. She's in the Leinster squad scrum half, and off we go. Blackrock have a little bit of an overlap if they can shift it. Lovely hand, stepped inside, grab by a shirt tail from the Cooke defence. There's still space out right. Can Mullen get it wide? Out it goes to Shiels, lovely inside step. The space had just disappeared. Cooke did very well to get their defence up there on the outside, didn't they?
I think Cooke are doing exceptionally well at the breakdown for slowing things down as well, which is getting them a chance to set up that defence. They're really getting their hands on that ball.
Parr's done fantastic from 10, some lovely hands, and here she goes again, right out to the outside. Will they back a pace? What a handoff! And there's a bit of a pull of the hair, but disappointing. She did back herself through, didn't she? She does Lawless a few times in that back three. They've backed themselves for pace, haven't they?
Yeah, she really took the outside, and then her footwork got her back in there. They will have a penalty now. Unfortunately, the player knew straight away.
High tackle, I think we all knew.
Yeah, high tackle straight away.
It's hard to do when you're faced with those quick feet.
That's it, and she was stepping back inside. So she's real danger woman. Is Lawless, and I think they are trying to get her hands on the ball, and we saw up there when Maggie Boylan made another break in play. So that back three are lethal, and we and Cooke need to be very, very careful. But I think they're doing the right thing at ruck wise. They're slowing it down. They're getting their defence set, and it's a part of the game. A lot of people don't like to see that slowing down at the ruck, but if
part of it, it's a tactic. You've got to play to your strengths, and you've got to play against the strengths of the opposition as well.
And that's it, and you get the feel of the referee, what you're allowed to do and what you're not allowed to do in the first couple of minutes, and they seem to be on top in that area.
So here we go, Blackrock 7 metres away from the Cooke line. Would love to get something on the scoreboard early in the second half. Cooke have done brilliantly to disrupt that.
Really, really well done, and now they're trying to hold it up, and we see Van Staden has the ball, but there's been a turnover
Rock
again.
have turned that over.
Yeah, I think Aoife Moore got her hands on the ball. We see Judy Bobbett now as well as back on in the second half. Big, powerful runner.
Through the legs of a few players, well picked up. Shiels again, there she goes in that little chip. Is she going to go all the way? It's a race back. Downey, well there from Downey. Shiels is lethal. You just don't know what she's going to do.
Yeah, she loves that chip over, and she's got the speed. You know, she said to me earlier, don't be slagging my age, or don't be giving out about my age. But she definitely hasn't lost that much speed, not compared to me anyway. But I was a prop, so I was probably always too slow. But she spots the space, she sees it, and she attacks it, and that's the type of player she always has been.
And a bit of vision as well. I mean, you mentioned it in the first half, that there's a little bit of space just behind the initial defensive line, and she's trying to exploit that. Yeah,
she's exploiting it when the 9 comes in from Cooke and leaves that. Sometimes we can see in Cooke's defence that they bring the 9 in maybe to make a tackle, and that's when Jackie sees that defence, because obviously the full-back has to cover the whole field. We'll see if this scrum dominance will give Cooke the upper hand here. It's a Blackrock scrum.
It's a lovely spot for a Blackrock scrum.
Yeah, and we can see their setup. We have Shiels, and we have that winger waiting. So you might see a little pop to the winger coming into the line, or maybe they will try and go wide and get that Maggie Boylan her hands on the ball. But I suppose it's very important that they get this set piece right. There have been turned over a couple of times at scrum time, so this is very, very important. Clean strike from the hooker here, and I'd have the ball gone out the back.
And here we go, and the ball straight out, nice from Blackrock. It goes to Parr, does a little show and go to Shiels. Shiels offload, off 2, and in she goes, where she threatened to moments earlier with a chip chase. She gets in with a power run.
What a run from Jackie Shiels. A couple of handoffs in there as well. A lot of movement in the Blackrock attack, and you could see that the Cooke defender didn't know where the ball gone. So Val Power was manipulating that defence excellently there, and Jackie struck a line, and 2 handoffs and in over the corner. I think she's on fire at the minute as Jackie Shiels. She's really relishing it this day.
And you kind of think as well, a player of her calibre, you just look and you go, she's scored either side of the half. A penalty on half time, a little half-time break, and the first score of the second half she instigates as well. Yeah,
and it's her chat. If you've played with her, it's her constant chat in that back line. She loves to communicate what she's helping. There's a few new girls on there. I think I see Ellen Tate is now after coming onto the back line. So to have someone with Jackie's head around you and just constantly talking to you, it makes a real difference.
And she adds an extra 2 under her tally for the afternoon. A conversion, a penalty, a try, and another conversion puts Blackrock College back into the lead at 17 points to 12. You're watching this Energia All-Ireland Plate final. with myself, Graham Dewhurst, and Irish international Fiona Hayes. It's a phenomenal afternoon here in Dublin, and the rugby is living up to expectations. 2 tries apiece, and it's 17-12 ahead, but Cooke will no doubt have their opportunity in this second half as they get the ball underway. Great catch by Bobbett out on the left hand side. No scrum half there, and Cooke react very quickly and get the knock on. And after a good carry from Bobbett there, there was nobody really on the same wavelength as her.
Yeah, a really good carry, great catch after the restart, straight into contact, and unfortunately the ball slipped out of the back of the ruck, so it gave Cooke the chance to snipe in there.
Cooke's reactions have been very good this game. They've been very on it, and they sensed, I think, that there was no scrum half, and were very quick to even come round and force the knock on.
Yeah, that's twice now I think they've gotten the ball at the back of a ruck, and you can hear them talking to the referee, is it out, is it out, and once that communication is there and she gives a nod, you can go for that ball. So they're playing the game well with the ref.
And Katie Byrne has been a great communicator. I can hear her from the commentary box shouting instructions, and even instigating the scrums. Very, very vocal as Claire Johnson takes that into attack, and just a little turnover, and Blackrock, a lovely left-footed kick, and that's going to end up going all the way. Is it going to go out for a 50-20? It's going to stay in field, and Cooke are going to have to try and clear their lines here. They're trying to run it from inside their own 22. How quick were all the Cooke team back there? Everyone back, and I'm not too sure what that is. Was there a little knock on just at the base? Well, there's no advantage from the original knock on.
Yeah, I think there might have been a Cooke or a Blackrock hand in there, so it's going to be a Cooke scrum. But really great kick through. I think it was Lisa Mullen spotted the space, and we could have seen our first 50-22 of the game. I've tried to be coaching it to my own team, but we don't have anyone with that type of boot. But Blackrock certainly have the players.
It's a fair old kick, doesn't it? And it was a beautifully skillful. It was outside of the left foot when she was running to the right. It takes quite a skill to be able to kick that change of direction.
Definitely, and she's head up, spotted the space, and all like spiral, like you could see it swirling in the wind. Probably only 4 metres short to the touchline.
Cooke scrum, which has been dominant but not overly dominant. Blackrock College have managed to kind of hold that scrum quite well, but it's still a weapon, and Cooke will always fancy themselves in that position.
Yeah, it's worked. It's worked at times for them, but you can see when Cooke start to get a little bit higher, and that's when they maybe are not getting as powerful in the scrum area. But when they keep it locked in nice and low, they're giving their backs clean ball and a plate to play with.
So here we go. Watch for this. I'm almost excited to see this India Daily pickup. It happens at most scrums now, and you just kind of see if you're getting the opportunity to watch the number 8 for Cooke pick and go. She takes a lovely wide arc and always makes it across the gain line. But it always helps when you've got a real platform from your front 5.
Yeah, and you see, Ilse van Staden is an exceptional scrummager. She's so powerful. We've seen her ball running, but scrum time she's really, really good as well. And I think you have to say Joanna Mahan.
Good scrum from Blackrock College, puts them under pressure, and still Daly makes it across the gain line. Had to go down the blind side, but they've managed to get it reset. Great scrum from Blackrock College.
I think we see this Blackrock team are trying to contest a couple of those rucks as well, so they've obviously spotted that area that maybe they need to get in there a little bit than they have been.
Van Staden offloads to Helen McGee, who's been the 2 second rows for Cooke have been prevalent in attack. And that's a good clearance kick from Amanda Morton, but well gathered by Blackrock over on that far right hand side. Through O'Callaghan. Little knock on. So an advantage being played to Cooke. Good pick and go round the fringes. Just moving forward. Now the worrying thing is Amanda Morton is down on the far side for Cooke. Hopefully she can get back up quickly, and we are going to stop for that. I'm not too sure what happened over there, but I think Cooke have been quite disciplined in their exit strategy. They always seem to have pods set up of forwards and just move it a couple of metres, and then go wide or kick.
Yeah, unfortunately for them, the ball didn't go off the pitch there, and we saw, I think it was Lawless having a run back at him. So up to that, it's been immaculate. They've gotten the ball. They are able to set up for the platform. I think Cooke are starting to run a little bit too narrow on their carries. They've obviously spotted the internal defence maybe isn't as coming up as quickly as the outer defence. Okay. But it's an area they were getting a lot of change in if they got wider in their carries, that forward pack, because it makes Blackrock move a little bit more.
And Blackrock taking the opportunity to make quite a few changes to their pack. The rolling subs rule is great. It just keeps everyone active. It gives coaches the opportunity to use players, doesn't it, and just let players really blast out and then take a moment off and
Yeah, it gives you a chance, and I think I'm seeing Anne-Marie Rooney going into that front row. I know that she's down maybe to play 6 today, but I think this is her first time on the pitch, and she's someone who's a lot of experience in her. I scrummaged against her years and years ago, and she brings a lot to the game. I think Aoife Moore is off now, so they've had to juggle a few things around.
We've just got a wee bit of a break. A reminder again, of course, that this isn't the only match today. You can be watching on the Irish website. We've got another cracker after this one. It's coming up at 3 o'clock. It's the Energia All-Ireland Cup final between Railway Union and the previous winners, UL Bohemian. And that's at 3 o'clock. Hannah Tyrrell, and well, you're staying on for that, Fionn, aren't you?
No break for me. I'm staying on. You're going to have to listen to my voice again in the second game. But I'm looking. It's great to see. I'm looking down here, and I'm seeing 4 or 5 of the Blackrock girls that would have been up at Irish camp at the weekend, and they've all come out to support their team in the final. I think they had an internal game in camp this morning, but they're all there cheering them on in their Irish gear, and that shows a good kind of team ethos and good club spirit.
And when you're missing a lot of players from our Irish setup, it's great to have the strength and depth, and it's great for the game as a whole to be able to have these opportunities to give players big matches like this.
Yeah, and the girls have been exceptional.
Oh,
they just
fantastic.
stepped up to the mark.
Great pick of the base, good defence from Blackrock as Cooke Downey decides to go down the blind side. A little chip, great take by O'Callaghan. Runs back into the action, sidestepping away. Good platform for Blackrock to work off. Powers sends it out. Shiels, there's a little floater over the top. Brilliantly gathered by Boylan. Boylan away, lovely step inside. Keeps the game alive, keeps the ball. Lawless. This back 3 for Blackrock coming alive in the second half. Again, Cooke just slowing that down at ruck time, doing a great job of holding the ball in. Coleman. Off she goes, and it's going to be offside in the middle. Quick, and I thought they were away again. I think she's just going to have a word there, is she? But that's a shame in a way, because they were away.
They were gone. They were going for that quick tap again. But, to be fair to referees, they always say you have to take it in front of me, on the mark and in front of me. And unfortunately, it was behind her back. She wanted to have a word with the Cooke player, maybe to just point out a little bit of discipline, because it's inside in the 22, and a couple of more she might look elsewhere.
And Boylan and Lawless there. Whoa, they're fantastic. They're really opening up when they get the space.
It's good to see they're actually after going for a scrum off this penalty, rather than quick tap or kick the ball to the corner. They're setting up a platform for their backs to attack.
Yeah. And you kind of think there was potential. It was kickable as well, like with the score at 17-12.
I think when they're on top, and we've seen how Maggie Boylan is lighting it up, and you spoke about O'Callaghan on the wing as well, so they're going to give these guys a platform here to really hit that Cooke defence and test it. I would say they will try go wide.
Oh, and they've gone quick tap this time, and away they go. Mullen offload, great play. Holohan just short, lovely ball placement, pick and go. Cooke hold him up just short of the line. Blackrock College pushing hard. Bobbett. Lisa Mullen over the ball, waiting. Powers round the back. Shiels, they're lining up on the right hand side. Surely it's going to go all the way. Boylan from starting the run on the left hand side. A try on the right hand side. Beautiful hands across the Blackrock College backline. and they've opened up a little bit of a lead against Cooke.
Lovely try. Just we saw the slickness of the hands to get it out wide, but I think the reason they were able to get it out wide was Shiels straightened up on that carry. She squared up the defence. That gives the defender an option. They can't drift, and I think that's what created the space for Maggie Boylan, and they still had O'Callaghan outside her as well, so they really manipulated that Cooke defence, and we can see they're starting to tire a little bit, so hopefully we can see a spurt after this, after the kick-off.
And I think as well, when you have a player like Shiels in the centre, it draws the Cooke defence in, because they've got to put almost 2 men on her, because you don't know what she's going to do.
Yeah, exactly, and they know she's capable of chipping in over the top, or even giving a kick out to her winger. So yeah, it's exciting rugby, and it's been played at a good level and a good tempo.
And Shiels she got that one over. I was about to say that drifted slightly under the bar, but she adds the extras, and the lead is extended out to 24-12. And Cooke probably really need to get the next score on the board to keep in this game, but they're more than capable of it. They've certainly got the pack and the back line to cause Blackrock College problems. They just need more territory, really, isn't it, and play in the right area of the pitch.
Yeah, I think it's we're about 18 minutes into the second half, and I don't think Cooke have been up in the Blackrock 22, so they've really got to try and get up there. They have a chance now here.
Oh, and
Space.
Here we go, and they're off right from the word go. Great running by Thompson. Thompson played so well in that first half and has started off. Blackrock have slowed that down a little bit, but McLeveen gives it off to Van Staden. Caused such a handful in that first half. Is it going to be quick ball? Downey has to go for it. Ball out to Hetherington, who scored, of course, that first try of this game. And Blackrock causing a little bit of nuisance there. Eventually it goes out to Morton. Morton passes it outside to McCord. Cooke now on the attack. This is the sort of final it's been. It's been roller coaster side to side. Good pick up from Morton. Morton gives it off to Daly. Daly has been hugely powerful in the runs off the back and in the open play. Downey, Morton. Lovely little hands from McCord. Gets the offload away. Good defence from Blackrock. Just slowing it down, settling it up. Cooke will just have to start to build again. McLeveen takes it into play. Morton. Good hands there from Van Staden, and who's on hand again but Lucy Thompson. And it's going to be a penalty, and there, yet another. They're proving brilliant at that breakdown in defence, Blackrock.
Yeah, they're doing it perfectly. They're picking which ruck to attack. They're not jumping in, and I think the thing that I'm watching from up here that I love seeing is that line speed. They're really cutting out the chance for Cooke to go wide by getting that defence straight up.
And that's a really good clearance kick. And Blackrock will have the put into the line out. There was that threat there from Cooke that maybe he's been missing in this second half so far, because Blackrock have controlled it so well, but that was beautiful interplay backs and forwards, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was really good, and we saw Leo getting away down the wing, and she bumped off 2 people, bumped off 2 tackles to get her hands free and get an offload in as well. So they're trying to keep the ball alive, which is really good to see as well. It's just that area they're going to have to really tighten up in that defensive breakdown area.
So we're waiting numbers here. I'm not too sure. Yeah, it's going to be a free kick. I don't think the referee, she gave them quite a long time. There's just a bit of miscommunication. And Downey, quick tap, and off we go again. Helen McGee, little show and go, but she was only ever going to bury the head down and go. Downey, Van Staden, whose hands have been lovely. Beautiful hands, and that's going to be, is that a high tackle? Oh. That was a high tackle. I think it could have potentially been an advantage played, couldn't it? But
yeah. To be fair to the referee on high tackles, I think she's blown it up straight away because she wants to have a word with the player all the time. And her linesman has his flag out, so that generally means he wants to chat to her about something.
Yeah, the assistant referees on the sidelines haven't had too much to do. That's Arthur DuPont down on the assistant referee there. Had the flag out. And a little word. Katie Byrne has controlled it. She's let, and this Yellow card there for the first
Yeah,
time
we've
in the game.
Anne-Marie Rooney unfortunately got caught in that high tackle. So 10 minutes in the bin.
And maybe just we've had a few high tackles in the game, and maybe it wasn't so much that individual one, but more the combined effect through the game of those.
Yeah, that always happens if there's a few. The referee's got to mark the discipline and just say no, it has to stamp out from here, and nothing like a yellow card to do that.
And Cooke, we're halfway through this second half. Cooke trailing 24-12, but they're a man up now, and they have got to use this opportunity. The ball went backwards there. Cooke play on, did very well to keep that in play on this right hand side. Can they make their man advantage? Count Van Staden.
You see that when Blackrock chop low, Van Staden can't get the ground she's been gaining in the first half. They're really clamping up in that area and getting those tackles, doubling teaming her low.
And they were up very fast in defence there. Blackrock College forcing the knock on.
Yeah, their line speed has been really impressive since half time. I would imagine that's something Philip Doyle Goose and Ben Martin would have had a chat about in the huddle, because I've seen a different type of line speed than the first half.
And you'll have, I'm sure, a lot of experience of Philip Doyle and his work with Ireland and
Yeah,
so on.
there's no better man when he tells you to do something, you do it anyway. I'm looking at Ben and Goose, as we call him down there, and they're constantly feeding information onto their players, and they're making use of this roll on, roll off, and they're getting everyone some game time. So it just goes to show, they've such a good squad that someone can come in, come off, and the same job has been done.
So scrum centre pitch here. Laura Delaney puts the ball in, and Cooke have a huge scrum. Oh, and if goodness, that was a concerted effort from 8 there, wasn't it?
Yeah, you see what happened was as well why Judy Bobbett had to come off the pitch was, I think, with the man down, Anne-Marie Rooney was in front row, so someone had to go back on. Maybe weren't as warm as they should be, because Cooke absolutely drove. It was a monster scrum, really disciplined, and it was a square drive, and the referee had to reward it even though Blackrock got the ball out.
And it'll be interesting to see what Cooke do from this resulting scrum, or from this resulting penalty, because I was thinking they could potentially go for the scrum again. They're always ones to quick tap, but you can't imagine, given the delay here, that they'll do that quick tap, and it's probably a bit far out to try and kick to touch.
Yeah.
So
I'd say she might get it down the line. She has a nice boot, and Bet Cregan has been very reliable in the line out.
we haven't seen too many line-outs actually in this second half. Now I come to think about it.
Hughes.
So Hughes, how close can she get this to the line?
Beautiful
that's
Cooke.
outstanding. Just, wow, you called it there.
I did. I could see her eyeing up that ball, saying, I'm going to get that 5 metres out. You couldn't ask for any more as a pack. So it's whether they're going to keep it in tight now or maybe hit someone running off the 10 is another question.
And Cooke have predominantly used a 5-man line out and taken it off the top, but when you're 5 metres out like this, sort of the opportunity suggests itself to go 8 and go for a drive, but there's still, I can see the back row hanging out around the 10 channel. Yeah,
it seems to be an area they've obviously worked on, and to be fair, Daly has got ground when she's carried out off the 10, but I wouldn't be giving it because you're 5 metres out and you're passing it back. I would get it in and maul it, but I'm old school. A lot of people will hate that, but I love it. I love a good maul.
Oh, so just closing the gap there, and the referee making sure that we have a nice clean competition. Yeah. So we'll get the opportunity to try and put this in again. Beth Craig.
I think I see a change as well for Blackrock at 9. We have Laura Delaney on. I used to coach Laura at UCC, great player.
And here we go. Van Staden, has it just been an accidental obstruction there in the middle? Yeah. That's a shame. It's tried to get it set up for them all, but it was unfortunate. They tried to set it up, and they, to be fair to Blackrock, they sacked the front two, and then therefore Staden went through and hit her own player, so an accidental offside. But I think we'll be seeing a scrum similar to the one we saw in the middle of the pitch. Yeah, it's going to have to take a tight defence from Blackrock to stop Cooke. Yeah, it's. I imagine they're one down as well. They. In the scrum, obviously, have they put a winger on the flank maybe? But tempted to, but no, there's still a a full complement in the back line, I can see from Blackrock. So it is a man down. So here we go. Blackrock will just want to quick tap this and get it away. And there's a free kick. So and now Cooke will take a scrum from a free kick, I imagine, and try to really stamp their dominance in this area of the game.
Yeah, I think so. They look like they might be going for the quick tap, but their scrum has been so dominant. It's a shame they don't back it.
Surprised, yeah. Well, they're given to Van Staden. Van Staden's run so hard, bounces 1 into 2. Blackrock eventually bring her down. Where's the ball going to go? Downey over the top. Looks to the pack again. Daly scrambles for the posts. Has she managed to get that down? Not quite. Downey over the top. Waiting. Hetherington takes a little step inside. Blackrock College well up to meet her in defence. Downey again. This time goes left. There's space. There's going to be space somewhere on the pitch, isn't there? But Thompson takes it infield. Slow ball. Cooke are going to have to take this up with the forwards, picking and going round the fringes. Good defence as well round the side. But have they got scrambling close where it must be inches away? The ball goes out, still bursts backwards. Morton takes it into contact. Cooke out again to India Daly. The number 8 drives forward. Just short of the line. Cooke again going through the face as well. McCord. Will it go out wide? Daly picks. What defence from Blackrock round the fringes. Takes it back a couple of steps. Cooke have to rebuild again. And that's a penalty to Blackrock. Well, what defence from Blackrock. It was just round the fringes, the power getting low.
Absolute brilliant defence, and then to get that turnover as well at the end. So I think it could be Jackie Shiels again. She's going to be loving herself after this game. She's been really, really good. But you know what was really, really excellent to watch was we could see the space was wide, and Cooke knew the space was wide, but that line speed that came up, it just blocked the ball going out there. It couldn't have gone out. No, and perhaps you might look back on it and say maybe you could have got a few more forward carries, but as I said, the space was there. They were backing their skills, but there was just some hunger in that Blackrock defence and shooting up. Maggie Boylan made a hit as well there that stopped the ball going out wide. So they're hitting man and ball to stop that offload, which is really, really good.
Plenty of such exciting play in this game. It's just there's been every facet of the game, I think, has been kind of showpieced here, really, hasn't it? I mean, there's been some great kicking to touch, some beautiful kicks down the pitch. We've had chips over the top, we've had balls spinning wide and wingers getting a run, we've had power running through the middle, super defence.
You're not even mentioning the scrums, you're not even talking about the scrums, and you know I love them. I love them. Look, the set piece, like people work a lot on set piece. That's been really, really good by both teams, but it's exact that, the range of kicking, the chip through, the trying for the 50-22. I think they're taking a bit out of the old goodie bag of tricks today, and it's excellent to see.
And on a day like this, why not?
Exactly.
Oh, well kept in there by Cooke. They did brilliantly to keep that in play, but Blackrock are up very, very fast. Hughes takes it in, so Cooke have to build again. Remember, just a reminder, they're a man up probably for another 3 or 4 minutes, so can they make it count? Cooke just goes low to Van Staden. Lucy Thompson picks it up, steps back inside. Shiels, of course, makes the tackle. Not just makes the tackle, makes the turnover. Just rips and manhandles it right out of the grip. The ball, it's a nasty bounce all over the place. Who's going to gather it? And Blackrock are going to get it. Well, when things are on, things are on. Little one-handed offload, steps inside. Lovely offload again. And this time just into the hands of Helen McGee. And, well, we talked about the bag of tricks. I mean, the one thing I don't think we had up to this point was a strip in the tackle.
It was brilliant. It was really good phase of play. I think it was whoever. I'm a bit blind at the minute, but that one-handed offload unfortunately gave to McGee, but you could see her fighting. She knew the space was out there and she was getting her hands free. I think
the offloads in contact have been excellent as well. They've been able to free up and put. I think actually Val Power has done it very well. She's even kind of drawn and passed behind players who are coming up.
Yeah,
it's just that ability to distribute the ball.
Yeah, it's that, and this Blackrock team especially like to keep that ball alive. They like to play as many phases as they can. They don't want it dead at the ruck because they want to be stretching Cooke all over the pitch, and it's that skill set that allows you to do that. And Val Power definitely 2 or 3 times has done that double pump pass as well to confuse the Cooke defence, and she's put Jackie into space, and I think she's put Maggie Boylan into the space as well. So the skill set on show by this Blackrock backline is brilliant.
Yeah. And I think we'll probably we've talked a little about Val Power. I think we've probably underplayed her a little bit because of what Shiels is doing outside her, but she's giving her the space to do that by the way she's playing. I mean, she's captaining this Blackrock side, but she used to play for Shannon as well, so she's bringing different styles of play into this Blackrock side as well.
She is indeed. I actually played a season with her in Munster, and she's a very, very good leader. She's really good communicator, good at talking to people, and I think today she's distributing that ball excellently, and she's chatting to the pack, and she's chatting to everyone. We see her dropped into the backfield here now.
So Cooke kicked that out, and again a little reminder of the score. I have to just keep you up to date with the score. It's still Cooke 12, Blackrock College 24. This Energia All Ireland Plate final. A reminder, we've got just under 10 minutes left on the clock, so there's a little bit of work still for Cooke to do. Don't stay with us though after this, because we've got the Energia All Ireland Cup final, Railway Union versus UL Bohemian, still to come this afternoon.
Ali Coleman is another girl who's been everywhere in the park today. Yeah. She's coming off, and you can hear, I don't know if you can hear the round of applause, but she's put in a really, really good shift, and she's been one at the breakdown that has been really kind of dominant and getting her hands in on that Cooke ball. Excellent performance by her today.
And pressure again from that Blackrock defence. They're just coming up hard in the midfield, closing that Cooke attack down. Yeah,
that's it. They're coming up really hard, and you can see that maybe Cooke are drifting instead of squaring up on the carries, and any defender absolutely loves that. So it's very hard to catch a ball when you're drifting across the pitch, and I think as Cooke are getting a little bit tired, maybe they're trying to go wide too quick. But they have a chance here now to go for that scrum, and they'll definitely be trying it.
And I think we're back to parity now in the numbers. So that 10-minute spell where Blackrock were down a man is back to all square again.
Yeah, I think they're down on the far side of that scrum, so the ref might change sides or just have a word here.
It's a tough old affair trying to referee a scrum, isn't it? When you don't have visibility on both sides, you know.
That's it. It's it. And then you go over to the other side, and they start the tricks on the opposite side. You were standing there. I know it well myself from my playing days. If the ref went over the other side, I'd kick the hips out.
Turn. Yeah. We need like American football where we have about 16 referees.
Yeah, it's all part and parcel of it.
Yeah. So here we go. You mentioned Delaney just about to put the ball in. Cooke put a bit of a solid scrum in. Blackrock give a little bit of a nudge back, and there's Skelly off and running. Gives it on the outside. A little bit of space now on the right hand side. Can Blackrock College, if they get one more score, that would be it?
Yeah, that's Maggie Boylan again with a really good carry and recycling that ball nice and quick. That's when they're
on the carry as well. Great play from Bobbett. All the people coming out here. Cooke starting to maybe stand off a little bit. Good tackle though. There's space on the right if they can shift it. Pushing forward. There's still numbers on the right hand side if they can get it out there. Quick ball. Lovely hands. Oh, and just well read by Cooke. And Cooke, well played there by Dolores Hughes. Still she's away. Off she goes. Backs herself in a tackle into touch. That was needed.
That was an absolute cruncher by Ellen Tate. Really, really good tackle. But you just said it there. Dolores used to spot that and get her two hands on the ball just when it looked like that Blackrock were going to score in the corner. She's someone that has been really, really good today as well. And Cooke, I think, they mightn't have got their hands on the ball as much as they'd like in this half, but they've certainly been putting in a big shift in defence.
Yeah. The other thing I think I've noticed from Blackrock is they're playing the game in the right half of the pitch. Cooke have struggled to get down into that 22 of Blackrock this half.
And I'm looking at the formation there. I think Jackie has moved into her position that she loves at 10, and Val is gone out to 13 with Ellen Tate at 12. So they're moving around as well in that back line.
So here we go. We haven't seen one of these this match. Blackrock starting to suck it in, and look at that drive from the Blackrock pack. Starting to really boss things, and it's a little break down the blind side as well. Nice offload through the hands.
Judy Bobbett there with a lovely pick in from behind her. Excellent.
Shiels gives it outside. Starting to break more tackles now. Blackrock, the energy's up. They can feel this is on, and what about that? Again, just as you kind of think Blackrock on the front foot, Cooke come up with a beautiful turnover. Yeah,
really good turnover by the captain. I think Kelly McCormill got in there, and that's what you want your captain doing. What is it, 15 metres out, and there's still about 4 or 5 minutes left in this, so they'll be looking to get up the pitch, and 2 converted tries, and they could win this game. It's just territory, and they're struggling to get up there.
And they're on the wrong side of the pitch because the wind is kind of cutting across, so it's sort of kicking into it there to get any sort of distance. Yep.
I don't think Blackrock are in any rush to speed this up anyway, even though it should be a Cooke line out.
Yeah, it's really just Cooke need to find some way to break through. They're stuck between Blackrock and a hard place.
Oh, nice.
Been waiting for that one all afternoon.
You've been practicing that one at home. Yeah, look, it's hard, isn't it, when you're stuck inside your 22 or thereabouts, and you're fighting and struggling to get up the pitch, and just when they seem to be getting up there, there's a couple of handling errors.
And just a not straight there, just it is tough because you need to run, you need to kind of.
Yeah, and you know that it's 2 scores you're behind as well, and it's trying to get up there.
On. Really are entering the last few minutes of this match. It's Cooke 12, Blackrock College 24, and it's been a fantastic game of rugby from both sides. Both teams have just given so much in terms of power and pace, the accuracy of the pass, some beautiful scores.
Some really nice scores, and the offloading as well has just been outstanding at times. You can see players are constantly trying to get their hands free. You see people running hard lines off shoulders, and that's what every coach wants to see. I'm sure Goose and Ben Martin will be delighted with that.
And this is what you want to see. The scrum, and Blackrock have pushed away the scrum, but the ball didn't come with it, and it came out, so Cooke are able to put the pressure on, but away go Blackrock College again. They'd love to wrap this up with a final try, but Cooke are putting the pressure on, this time just being a bit over exuberant and driving right the way through over the scrum half, and they're going to be marched back 10. There must have been a little bit of words or something.
Yeah, I think the referee was spot on there. I mean, Van Staden went in to disrupt, but you have to stay on your feet when you go in there. So someone must have said maybe 1 or 2 bad words that were marched back that 10. Something I obviously would have never done in my career.
Of course. And look, you wouldn't certainly argue with Katie Byrne. I think she's had a fantastic afternoon. Right on the money every time. No,
she can be very proud of her game today. As I said, it's free flowing rugby as well. Unless there's a serious infringement at the breakdown, she's let the game flow, and I think that's very important as a referee as well, because obviously we've so many laws in this game. You know, if you were to call every single thing, sometimes you wouldn't get anything, and that's up at a national level too.
And not unsurprisingly, after the last rolling ball, Blackrock College have opted to keep it in the tight. Cooke have dealt really well with that, especially considering how well that first one went. And is that the final whistle? I think we have the final whistle, and that is the Energia All-Ireland Plate winners. Blackrock College have defeated Cooke here at St Mary's by 24 points to 12. And they were, good value for it in the end, but it was a real tough match, wasn't it?
It was a really tough game, and I think Cooke can be very proud of their performance, especially in that first half. Unfortunately, they couldn't get their hands on the ball enough in the second half, and I think Blackrock came out firing, whereas Cooke started the game at 100 miles an hour. It was obviously a shift for the second half, and I think although Blackrock came out firing in defence, I think they were very, very composed in attack as well.
And a big cheer, of course, for Jackie Shiels goes out saying, doesn't it? And here we go, the most important part of the afternoon. And a big round of applause there for Blackrock College, the 2022 winners of the Energia the All-Ireland Plate winners, and you can see what it means to them. And that's us. We can take a little bit of a break now. Do join us back here in about 15 minutes' time as we bring you coverage of the Energia All-Ireland Cup final between Railway Union and UL Bohemian. Thank you for joining us this afternoon.